Hello, darling viewers. It's your very own Stella here, ready to sprinkle a little naughtiness into your day. Buckle up because today we're diving into one of the juiciest letters I've ever received. This one comes from Ruby, a name she chose herself. And trust me, it screams drama, mystery, and sparkle. Let's get into it. So here's how Ruby starts her story. Picture this: a lavish rooftop dinner under the stars, clinking champagne glasses, soft jazz serenading through hidden speakers, and men in tailored suits more expensive than my entire wardrobe combined. Ruby had just been introduced to the sugar dating world by her best friend, Vivian, a seasoned sugar baby who had the perfect red lipstick for every occasion. But Ruby, fresh-faced and slightly nervous, was still hesitant about plunging headfirst into this glittering world. That was until Vivian leaned in and whispered, "How about a little wager, Ruby? 10 grand says you can't land Mr. Mystery over there by the end of the night." Now, my loves, Mr. Mystery was the kind of man who commanded the room without saying a word. Salt and pepper hair, piercing gray eyes, and a jawline sharp enough to cut glass. Oh, and did I mention? He didn't even glance Ruby's way once. Not until Vivian nudged her toward him like a game piece on a chessboard. Stifling the urge to trip over her own heels, Ruby sashayed her way over, channeling every drop of confidence she'd ever seen in a 90s rom-com. She introduced herself casually, asking if he was enjoying the party. And what does he do? He lifts a single brow, smirks slightly, and says, "It just got a lot more interesting." Cue a mental cha-ching from Ruby. Game on. The two banter back and forth like it's a Wimbledon match. Turns out, his name is Damien. No last name. Just Damien. And he owns some undisclosed tech empire, which sounded like code for too rich to care what you think. They discuss art, travel, and somehow the ethics of private jets. Oh, and let me add this steamy detail. When Ruby cheekily mentioned she preferred yachts, Damien leaned in and murmured, "Then maybe I should take you on mine." Mic drop. The night flies by, and Ruby finds herself basking in Damien's attention. Meanwhile, Vivian is across the room, smugly sipping her wine. But by the time dessert arrives, some decadent chocolate lava cake, things take a turn. Damien excuses himself with a mysterious, "Don't go anywhere," disappears for 20 minutes, and comes back with something in his hand. It's a single ruby necklace. No explanations, no strings attached, or so it seemed. Thinking she's sealed the deal and won the bet, Ruby nonchalantly strolls back to Vivian to collect her winnings. But oh no, honey, Vivian isn't letting her off the hook that easily. "You didn't say what you got it for, though," Vivian quips. And just like that, Ruby is back to the drawing board. Fast forward to the next night. Damien invites Ruby out to dinner. Just the two of them this time. But here's the kicker. He has no idea about the bet. To him, Ruby is all charm and elegance. And to Ruby, Damien is, well, a ticket to win 10 grand and hopefully explore his private jet collection. Except, the more time she spends with him, the more she starts to second-guess her motives. And that's where it gets complicated. There's this one particular moment that Ruby described in her letter that just stuck with me. They were walking around the city. Yes, walking, because apparently billionaires like cardio too, and they pass a street magician. Damien pulls out a crisp $100 bill, hands it to the magician, and motions for Ruby to pick a card. The magician does his trick, makes the card disappear, and somehow, it reappears in Damien's shirt pocket. But here's the plot twist. The card had a handwritten note attached. "Life's more fun with a little magic." Ruby said right there, standing on that busy street corner, she realized she was falling for him. Not his money, not the bet, just him. This realization came crashing down like a ton of bricks, because now she had to decide, what's more important? The thrill of winning, or the vulnerability of being real? But what happened next, you ask? Well, Damien caught wind of the bet. Yep, Vivian let it slip. And instead of storming off dramatically, he looked at Ruby with that same amused smirk and said, "Let's raise the stakes. How about another wager? You spend 1 week on my yacht, and if you don't fall in love with me, I'll give you the 10 grand myself. And that, my darling viewers, is where Ruby's letter ends, as a cliffhanger. She swears she'll write back with how it all unfolds. But let me leave you with a question. Would you take the bet knowing it could cost you your heart? Or would you refuse, knowing you could miss out on the adventure of a lifetime? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay fabulous. Mwah!